philosopher, orator, apostle, legislator, warrior, conqueror of ideas, the restorer of rational beliefs, of a cult without images, the founder of 20 terrestrial empires and of one spiritual empire. That is Muhammad. That the greatest man that ever lived was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, at the end of the talk, after that we had dinner. After dinner we made our Isha. After Isha, now it says, let's go to the car and go back to our hotel. Very late at night, and there are people still standing and chatting. So one fellow shouts from the crowd, Mr. DEEDAT. I say, yes? He says, look, what is the benefit of all these munazaras? You know, you go and debate with the guy Swaggart, you go and debate with the guy Palestinian in England, and this what you're doing now, you're talking and the guy comes along and arguing and debating with you, asking you questions. What's the benefit? So now this calls for another talk, explaining what are the benefits. And man, it's almost nearing 12 o'clock at night. So I said, look, you were sitting there for 2 hours. Did you benefit at all in any way? So don't ask me questions, I'm asking you. So I said, look, these people here, all standing around, ask them. I said, bhai, did any of you benefit at all from this meeting? Mum, glum, gunge. No response. From the Pakistanis of Sialkot, no response. Man, you sat there listening to me for 2 hours and I'm asking, did you benefit at all? No response. I'm wondering what happens with this Pakistani. Sab gunge ho gaye yahan? Sialkot mein Christian ne tumhara kya mohar maar di muh ke upar? So I said, no, I can't understand this. One guy is asking, what is the benefit? The other guy is asking, nobody is responding. So one fellow says, you see, this man here, he is a big tycoon in Sialkot. He is the richest man in Sialkot. He is an industrialist. And he has a German wife. And this German wife is a missionary. Out of all Germany, they got about 6 million, 20 million women who can't get husbands. He goes and picks up a missionary woman. And he brings her to Sialkot, this industrialist. And his house is the center of all Christian missions. They come along to his house. He doesn't come for Salat anymore, but he still claims to be a Muslim. So you see, it happens. If you are in that situation, your heart, your mind, you're getting hurt. Any of you who's got Christian wives, you're getting hurt. If your son has got Christian wife, you're getting hurt. As if I'm attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm only telling you that, look, you are not the man to have a Christian wife. The society is not geared for that anymore. We are not men anymore. As the poet says, Sheikh Sahib, ye hamare chairman sahab, Sheikh Sahib. Sheikh Sahib bhi to parde ke koi hami nahi. This Sheikh Sahib, the learned man, he's also not a supporter of parda. Sheikh Sahib bhi to parde ke koi hami nahi. Muft mein college ke ladke unse badzan ho gaye. For no reason, these university students, these college students, these modern educated young men are getting offended with the sheikh, with the Maulvi, the Maulana. Muft mein college ke ladke unse badzan ho gaye. वाज़ में फरमा दिया कल आपने ये साफ साफ, पर्दा आखिर किससे हो जब मर्द ही जन हो गए. No, we are not men anymore. And there are so many things in favor of this woman. If the marriage breaks up, look, it can break up between a Sindhi and a Sindhi, a Punjabi and a Punjabi, Punjabi man, Punjabi woman. It can break up. It can break up between my own people, Gujarati and the Gujarati. It can break up. It is happening. It's more chance that people coming from a different culture, different background, more reasons for breaking up marriages. Incompatibility for so many things. She's still yearning for her old boyfriends, the dances and the fun that she had. There are others who are transformed, like Maryam Jamila, transformed, a better Pakistani than most Pakistani women. It can happen, but generally, it's very difficult. कहते हैं कि you can't teach old dog new tricks. Very hard to teach old dog new tricks. What she's gone through. The average American woman, the Americans are telling us, she goes through 6 men before she gets her husband. The average woman, almost every American woman, before she settles on her last and final, and to death do us part, she's been through half a dozen other men. Look, it creates certain types of craving, sicknesses. I say you are tempting providence. So, a missionary woman and the center of Christianity, little wonder you get hurt. Allah is warning you. He is warning you about this. The factors that's going to keep you, emasculate you, तुमको नामर्द बना देगा. Allah is warning you. He says, "Kul, कह दो इनको." In Surah Tawbah, कह दो इनको, मुसलमानों को. In kana abaukum, if it be your fathers, wa abnaukum, or your sons, wa ikhwanukum, or your brothers, wa azwajukum, or your wives, wa ashiratukum, or your relations, wa amwalun ikhtaraftumuha, or the wealth that you have amassed, wa tijaratun takshawna kasadaha, or the losses that you fear in your businesses, wa masakinu tardawnuha, or the dwellings in which you take delight. Ahab ilaykum min Allahi. If you love any one of these things, you love more than Allah. Means what Allah tells you to do. His commandments, His prohibitions. You love anything more than Allah. Wa Rasuli, and His Rasul. Wa jihadin fi sabili, and doing jihad in Allah's way. Those your consideration, your father, your brothers, your sons, your relations, hamari jaat, hamari auratein, hamara mal, daulat, business. If these are your considerations more than you love Allah and His Rasul and doing jihad in Allah's way, He says, "Fatarabbasu." Tum thero. You wait. For what? For gravy? No. Hatta ya'ti Allahu bi amrih, until Allah's decision comes about for your destructions. Inna Allah la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqin, and He says, Allah will not guide a fasiq people. You can be praying 5 times a day and you get the picture of piety, a saintly appearance with saintly garbs. But if any of these things you love more than Allah and His Rasul and doing jihad in Allah's way, Allah says you are a fasiq, you are a perverted transgressor. Now mind all the black spots that you have on your forehead and how many hajjs you made. But your dear wife, gori gori, banki chori. मैं छोटा था तो मैं वो फिल्म में देखता रहा ये तो गोरी हूरे हमें मिलते हैं. I said, brothers, don't tempt providence. However, the mission of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mission, the reclamation of the whole of humanity, every evil he is out to kill. One example, one verse, he destroyed 4 evils. One verse, one ayah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, so you who believe. Innamal khamru, most certainly intoxicants, wal maisiru and gambling, wal ansabu and fortune telling, wal azlamu and idol worship, rizum min amali shaitan, are an abomination of Satan's handiwork. Fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. Shun such abomination that you may prosper. When this verse was revealed, wine barrels were emptied in the streets of Medina, never to be refilled. And we can boast, the Muslims, we have our drunkards, and we have our gamblers, and we have our adulterers, we have them all. We have our cutthroats, we have our rapists and our murderers, we have them. We have a fair share of them. Like any other race or religious community, we also have them. We can't say we are angels walking this earth, but there is not another community on earth which can boast that we are the biggest society of teetotalers in the world, biggest society of people who don't imbibe alcohol. We have drunkards, but the drunkard stands out. Mr. So-and-so, zara chadhata hai. Everybody knows him, everybody knows him. See, he stands out. In the other communities is the guy who doesn't drink. Who doesn't drink stands out. There's something wrong with you. You are like a square peg in a round hole. Look, in brotherhood, We have our shortcomings. We bash each other's heads over little things. But in brotherhood, in piety, in charity, in sobriety, we are still, Allah says, kuntum khayra ummatin. We are still the best of people. With all our shortcomings. We haven't got that percentage of problems that the Christian world has. America. You know, in America, there are 11 million drunkards. This is the figure given by Jimmy Swaggart in his book on alcohol. One of these guys I went to debate with. He is the mightiest evangelist in Christendom today, the biggest Jalut. He appears on 2,000 TV stations of the world. His daily budget is $1 million a day. That guy, he says, 11 million drunkards and 44 million heavy drinkers. Swaggart, like a good Christian, he says, I see no difference between the two. For in his side, this Christian says 55 million drunkards. That nation is worried about your salvation. You know that? There are 42,000 American crusaders, mujahids, raising the dust in the world. At home they are rotten to the core. Last June, the June before, 300,000 sodomites, Qawm-e-Lut, they gathered in San Francisco on a pilgrimage led by 50 lesbians on motorcycles. But they're worried about saving you from hellfire. 300,000, 3 lakh Qawm-e-Lut, sodomites and catamites. Problem, drunkards, incest. 13% of the American people, they commit incest with their own daughters. खुद की बेटियों के साथ खिलवत करते हैं. 13%. That nation is worried about saving you. Look, alhamdulillah, look, we are not angels. We read about something happening in sin, dacoits and this and that and that. And I read this morning some article that fellows, broke into the house and they made people to stand in the corner and they stole everything. And I'm reading. So alhamdulillah, look, in other countries is murder and stealing. Murder. The guy stealing is bad. If he's get caught, I say, I don't know what's the law in the country, whether you chop off the hand or send him in jail, whatever it is. But still there seems to be some mercy in the minds of our thugs and our dacoits. There's some mercy. The guy is stealing, but he's not killing, he's not murdering, he's not raping. The others rape and murder and robbing. Rape, murder and robbing. So alhamdulillah, look, we have shortcomings, we can improve. But this teaching is give us the biggest society of teetotalers in the world. A brotherhood which is second to none. With all our shortcomings, is second to none. You go anywhere in the world and you recognize a Muslim and you say Assalamu alaikum, his heart and home opens up for you. Racism, we have racism. Jat, we have. But we are the least racist of any community. We are racist. We are not angels. I'm still a Sindhi and a Punjabi and a Pathan and a Bora. Yes, but we are the least racist of the races of the world, of the other nations. All this is a blessing. Our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he came to reclamation of the whole of humanity. And he left with us this book, the Quran, as a book of guidance. And he preserved it for us. He had it preserved. He set a system of huffaz. He had a system under conditions, impossible conditions to imagine, that he could have it recorded on palm leaf fiber, on shoulder blades of animals, on skins kept in a chest for preservation like an archive. All this he did for us. He left the book with us that we may take it up. The non-Muslim world recognizes that the greatest man that ever lived was Muhammad. But we seem to have lost touch with him. It's about time that we knew more about him. And we knew more about the message that he left behind. With these words, Mr. Chairman and brothers and sisters, I would rather now give you the opportunity of opening out to the house. If you have any questions and even criticism, will be welcome. Jazakallah fi ddarain. Assalamu alaikum.